Okay, hey guys, it's Christopher Rendon and Charles All-Arounder here. Chris is going to do the narration and read parts of Neuron we have made, while I'm going to be the cameraman. And in this presentation, we will demonstrate the activity of a neuron. Hope you guys like it, and hope you learn a lot from it. We put a lot of work into it, and Chris, would you explain our neuron?
Basically, we made this giant neuron in the game called Minecraft, and it's quite simple, elegant, not complex, but it's enough to get the basic understanding. So what we're going to be doing here today is showing you the parts of the neuron and how it communicates. So right here we have the dendrites. And the dendrites are fibers that extend outward from the cell body or soma that collect messages either from direct stimulation or activity from nearby neurons. So, from what we made here, these buttons represent the stimulation, where the stimulation would go from other neurons, and that's basically how things get passed along. And coming down here to the soma, we learned that the messages obtained from the dendrites move to the soma. The soma contains a nucleus which contains the chromosomes. Since the neuron can get hundreds, even thousands of neurons, some of these messages can be excitatory or inhibitory. When neurons fire, it can potentially create a message of its own that is sent through the axon. So, whenever either it can receive the chemical message or the message it needs from here, the dendrites, and it can basically, create an electrical pulse and send that down the axon. Or what can happen is it can make its own and then send it down the axon, which then goes farther down, and we'll learn about that soon. So the axon is in the nerve cell, and the axon is the extended fiber that transports information from the soma to the terminal buttons. Information travels in the form of an electrical charge. When the neuron is ready to fire an electrical signal, it is the resting potential phase. When a neuron fires off an electrical signal, it is in the action potential phase. The electrical charge travels down the axon and goes to the terminal buttons. The axon will either fire or it won't at all. This is called the all or nothing principle. Around the axon is the myelin sheath, and it's represented with this purple and pink wool. And basically what it does is it's a fatty insulation around many axons in the brain and spinal cord. This insulates and protects the cell, helping increase the speed conduction of impulses along the axon. So basically it just helps facilitate the electrical charge going down the line. Moving down, we view, let me see,
got terminal
buttons
yeah,
with the tripwire. And basically, terminal buttons are tiny bulb-like structures that are located at the end of the axon. They hold neurotransmitters that carry the neuron's messages into the synapse. The synaptic transmissions events change electrical message into a chemical message so that it can easily pass through the synaptic cleft, thus moving to another neuron. The same process occurs until destination has been reached. So basically, when the soma has created an electrical pulse, it goes down the axon, which the electrical pulse or signal is facilitated by the myelin sheath, and when it comes down here to the terminal buttons then release neurotransmitters that go to the synaptic cleft, and they fin the synapse, and then basically all that information goes to the dendrites and then to the soma, and then it basically keeps on getting passed down. And when this happens about 100,000 times or so, you barely twitch your finger, and it's a very complex process, but it's what keeps us alive and allows us to do voluntary movements and whatnot. So, as you saw from the introduction, you noticed that this middle section lit up. We are merely representing the electrical charge moving down to the terminal buttons. And yeah, this is basically it. This is a neuron. We showed you how it communicated, and we labeled the most important parts.
Yay,
So
psychology.
we bid you a farewell and have a good day.
Bye, guys. See you later.